Anthony Edwards nudges the Lakers to the brink of elimination. Tyler Glasnow gets injured for a second consecutive start, and USC ends spring football talking up a good game, but still with lots of questions. Good morning. I'm James. And this is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. With bells and whistles, this is the faithful Angelenos Morning Report. It is April 28, 2025. I am back in Portland and bitter every minute that I'm here after watching the Galaxy faceplant last night. But we did add a new subscriber to the Angeleno Familia, and I appreciate you getting in on the ground floor. We're going to do our best to keep you informed. If you like being in the know about LA sports, clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. By all means, comment. Now, before we go through the news and notes, we have an expanded look at the scoreboard because the Lakers are one loss away from being eliminated. Mini Scrotum edged them out 116 to 113 in Game 4 of the first round of the NBA playoffs. The Timberwolves lead in this series now 3-1. And I might also add, for all the talk we've been having all year, is JJ Redick a good coach? Is JJ Redick a bad coach? Is he an upgrade over Darvin Ham? Well, after yesterday's game, would you think so? Because when people talk strategy, it usually means play calling. It means matchups. I don't think that type of strategy had a role at all in the Lakers' losses up in the land of passive-aggressive Prince enthusiasts. Here's the strategy that did play a role yesterday. Redick played one lineup for the entirety of the second half. Not one substitution, including keeping a 40-year-old man on the court for the entirety of the second half. The Lakers even held a 12-point lead in the second half. Hey, coach, maybe now's a good time to give the old man some bench time so he can hang with his son, right? Nah, we're going for the kill. And it cost them big. The Wolves outscored the Lakers 19-9 in the final 5 minutes, 6 seconds. Now, I don't like going after coaches that much because clearly they know more about that game than I ever will. And I have to acknowledge that. But come on. Even if a guy like me could see something that obvious, it really is that obvious. LeBron James stayed in the game. He scored 27. Luka Doncic led everyone in the Lakers with 38. Rui Hachimura 23. But all of that was topped by Anthony Edwards of Minnesota with 43. Now, Game 5 is Wednesday in LA. What this means going forward, aside from the Lakers not losing again, we can at least say that the Lakers have a lineup. Redick bench Jackson Hayes in favor of Dorian Finney-Smith for that ill-fated entirety of the second half move. So Dorian Finney-Smith plus James, Doncic, Hachimura, and Austin Reeves, at least it's a pretty good starting point. But not for the entirety of the game, guys. Not for the entirety. The Dodgers defeated Pittsburgh 9-2. But here's something that's painful. Edmonton 4, Kings 3 in overtime in Game 4 of the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Oilers rallied from 3-1 down and tied the game with less than 29 seconds to go in regulation. This could be the killing moment for LA in the entire series, even though it's tied 2-2. Leon Draisaitl scored the winner in overtime. And that's what we've been talking about since before this matchup was even announced. Because it seemed like a fait accompli that for a fourth consecutive year, the Kings would be playing Edmonton again. Edmonton this year is a wounded team, but they still have the two best players on the ice, and Draisaitl is one of them. The dude scored twice in a must-have game for the Oilers. Now, having said that, all Edmonton really accomplished is to hold serve. It is now a best of 3. The Kings still have home ice advantage. Game 5 is Tuesday in LA. Kevin Fiala, Warren Foegele, and Trevor Moore all scored. Make no mistake, it is now gut check time for the Kings. They lose in LA, and now you're really looking at the distinct likelihood of losing to the same team for 4 consecutive years in the playoffs. Portland defeated the Galaxy 4-2. There's a rapid recap of that match on the Galaxy playlist. And LAFC rallied to tie St. Louis 2-2. Meanwhile, Miami is at the Dodgers at 7 o'clock tonight. That was a big-ass look at the scoreboard. What do you say we get to the rest of the news? Tyler Glasnow was removed when he was warming up for the second inning Sunday out at Dodger Stadium, complaining of shoulder discomfort, which is the latest in a growing list of examples in Dodgers wordplay. Man, do they love sweeping things under the carpet when it comes to injuring pitchers. I mean, I love the Dodgers, but they never call it for what it is. Go to a thesaurus. You know what the first synonym for discomfort is? Pain. It is shoulder pain. Admit it. He hurt himself. It's not just a little nudgy that needs to be massaged out. It's pain. And it's the second consecutive injury shortened. I'm sorry. In Dodger speak, it is a grievance shorted start for Glasnow. You might recall his last start was shortened due to cramps. This time Glasnow gave up 2 solo home runs. Ben Kasparius replaced Glasnow in the second. He might wind up replacing Glasnow in the rotation. Because, yeah, we do acknowledge Tony Gonsolin is coming back, but he is sliding into the spot previously held by Blake Snell. The Dodgers currently have 7 starting pitchers on the injured list, which is absolutely absurd. Or maybe in Dodger speak, preposterous, ridiculous, farcical. Shohei Ohtani threw another bullpen sesh, by the way, 31 pitches. Dave Roberts said Ohtani, quote, came out of it really well, unquote. But again, his return to the majors also pushed back. He was supposed to be considering a return to the mound in May. They've been talking June. How good are the odds that an undrafted free agent makes a difference in the NFL? Have you ever wondered that? You know, for all the talk that we had over the weekend, when is Deion's kid going to get drafted, and oh, what does that mean for his future? There's a lot of players who get signed that don't get drafted. Now, USC might actually have a difference maker that is an undrafted signed free agent. Punter Eddie Saplicki was signed, by Kansas City. The dude won the Ray Guy Award for the nation's best punter. And sure, there were many other Trojans and UCLA players signed, but I had a flight to catch, and let's be real. Again, how many of them are going to be difference makers? Can't say for sure. More likely to see more of them in the UFL. But for the Trojans, spring football practice finished Saturday. So what is the state of USC football? Here is what we know. Jaden Mayava is the clear starter. He's the only guy who threw a pass for USC who is on the roster from last year. Husan Longstreet, they like him. Nobody said there's a competition. Running back is set. We're still unsure about who the third receiver is going to be behind Mekhi Lemon and Jacoby Lane. Right tackle is the big question on the offensive line, but not as big as previously thought. Lincoln Riley said Tobias Redmond had the best spring of anyone on the offensive line. You would reckon that would make Raymond the front runner at right tackle. Defensively, we know that USC is much bigger and much deeper on the line. We simply don't know how the depth chart will play out. The linebacking pool, super shallow. Kids' pool in the backyard, shallow. And aside from Kamari Ramsey, honestly, I can't tell you anything solid about the defensive backfield. Over at UCLA, meanwhile, Deshaun Foster pushed back on reports that 3 UCLA quarterbacks have entered the transfer portal. It's 2, damn it! Well, maybe it's 3, but we know for certain it's 2. It goes like this. Demarcus Davis is definitely not in the portal. No, that's not true. He is. No, he's not. Okay. Davis is not definitely in the portal. Reports say he is. We haven't heard from Davis. Deshaun Foster is saying, no, he's not. But here's the thing. If Davis actually does stay, if Davis actually does stay, there are two Iamaleava brothers ahead of Davis. Nico is obviously the starter. Madden, his brother, do you think Madden was going to leave Arkansas and be with his brother out in Westwood if he wasn't going to be the primary backup? Do you think? So that would leave Davis third in the depth chart, and Davis was a 4-star recruit, which means he ain't that bad, folks. So you tell me. To me, it damn sure sounds like Davis is going to split. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread. Talk to me, for example, about the Lakers being nudged to the brink of being eliminated in the first round again. Or for that matter, the Kings dropping a game they absolutely had no business losing up in Edmonton. And if you enjoyed the content, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We talk LA sports every single day here. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back probably in a much quieter studio environment tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Keon Cortel Queso production. Take care.